We're picking up right where we left off in our last vlog. It's currently day 8 of our Tokyo trip and we've just arrived at Tokyo Station. Before heading out, we found ourselves standing in front of a small bakery that was known for its salt bread. Today we're leaving the city behind and heading to Kamakura for a short seaside escape. After spending over a week surrounded by skyscrapers, train stations, and busy streets, we were starting to miss the feeling of being near the ocean. Luckily, Kamakura is only an hour away from Tokyo. The ride was quiet and peaceful. Watching the city slowly fade into smaller neighborhoods and open skies made us feel like we were already beginning to unwind. After arriving, we picked up our Enoden one-day pass and hopped aboard the little green train. Our first stop was Yuigahama. We stopped for a moment to watch the Enoden roll by in both directions before continuing towards the beach. The streets were calm and lined with charming houses, and we could occasionally hear the sound of the train passing behind us. As we walked through the neighborhood, the road gradually opened up and suddenly, there it was, the ocean. No matter how many times I see the sea, the first glimpse never gets old. Seeing open water stretch endlessly towards the horizon instantly makes everything feel a little lighter. The closer we got, the more we could hear the waves. The water gently rode onto the shore while sunlight danced across the surface. Even though it was a cloudy afternoon, the beach was still beautiful. We spent some time simply walking along the shoreline, taking in the salty air and listening to the waves. After a walk, we made our way back through the quiet residential streets. The narrow alleys, small gardens, and peaceful atmosphere gave everything a nostalgic countryside feeling. Soon we were back on the Enoden. One of my favorite things about this train is the view from the windows. Every so often, the houses disappear and the coastline comes into view. The blue ocean stretches beside the tracks, and for a few moments, it feels like you're traveling through a scene from a storybook. Next, we stopped by Enoshima Station. After browsing the gift shop for a while, we headed towards Subana-dori Street. This lively street connects the station to Enoshima Island and is lined with souvenir shops, cafes, and little local businesses. There was a relaxed coastal atmosphere here that felt completely different from Tokyo. As we continued towards Enoshima, we kept stopping every few minutes to admire the scenery. In the distance, we could see the Enoshima sea candle rising above the island. But honestly, it was the ocean views that kept stealing our attention. The endless blue water, the sea breeze, and the slower pace of life made us want to stay a little longer. One of the places I had been looking forward to the most was Kamakurakoko-mae Station. The moment we arrived, it felt like stepping into a movie scene. The famous railway crossing stood quietly beside the ocean, with the sea stretching endlessly beyond the tracks. For a brief moment, the train, the ocean, and the sky would come together perfectly. As afternoon slowly turned into evening, we made our way back to Kamakura and headed towards Komachi Street. By this point, we were definitely ready for snacks. The first thing that caught our attention was Matcha soft serve, and honestly there was no way we were walking past it. The ice cream had a rich matcha flavor with just the right amount of bitterness. Then we spotted a shop selling their famous apple pie and naturally had to see what all the hype was about. The pastry was incredibly flaky and buttery. Was it life-changing? Probably not. But it was still a delicious snack. Eventually, all the snacking made us realize we needed actual dinner. While wandering through Komachi Street, we stumbled across a restaurant and decided to give it a try. Sometimes those spontaneous decisions end up being the best meals. We both ordered a shirashi bowl with sashimi. Shirashi is one of Kamakura's local specialties, and it felt like the perfect thing to try while visiting the coast. I added an egg yolk to mine, which made everything extra rich and creamy. As the yolk mixed into the rice and shirashi, it brought all the flavors together beautifully. The meal was simple, fresh, and incredibly satisfying. It felt like the perfect reflection of Kamakura itself. After dinner, it was finally time to head back to Tokyo. But before ending the night, we made one last stop. The smell of freshly baked pastries caught our attention. We followed it straight to a cheese tart shop. The crust was buttery and flaky, while the filling was smooth, creamy, and slightly tangy. It was the perfect sweet ending to a really lovely day. And just like that, our Kamakura day trip came to an end. Thank you so much for joining us on this peaceful seaside adventure. Until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.